Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. 6 Best Western TV Shows that are not Yellowstone. While Yellowstone may currently hold the heavyweight belt for Western TV shows, there are plenty of series in the genre that aren't a part of the Taylor Sheridan experience. The Taylor Sheridan-verse of TV shows now includes everything from Old West legends like Lawman, Bass Reeves, to gritty gangster dramas like Mayor of Kingstown, to modern action thrillers like Special Ops, Lioness, but it's in the Western genre where the showrunner and writer appears to be most comfortable, with several shows taking place in the setting. Beyond being fine shows, Yellowstone and its spin-offs have introduced younger and modern audiences to the joy of Westerns. Western movies may be a strata of the industry that more people are familiar with, but there's a long history of Western TV shows too, and it's not just Yellowstone, 1883, and 1923 that have plumbed the themes and settings for multiple episodes and seasons at a time. There are some modern titles that regular TV viewers will be familiar with, as well as some classic Westerns that hold up as well as anything on TV. Rawhide depicts a group of cattle drovers in the 1860s who work all across the Old West. The trail boss, Dill Favor, Eric Fleming, leads a team of cowboys across the dusty plains, driving cattle and helping the needy people they meet along the way. The series had a rough, brutal, and even occasionally a supernatural bent to it. Racism, torture, and the realities of life on the plains are all often factored into stories, and Rawhide has episodes where even more inexplicable events occur. The series, beyond being an adventurous, thrilling romp, offered 2 critical artifacts to the Western genre. First off, its theme song, Rawhide, which is a rambling, exciting tune about cattle driving that has made its way into every corner of pop culture, from Shrek 2 to the British series Hustle. The series also introduced a young man by the name of Clint Eastwood as Rowdy Yates. While Eastwood had been acting since 1955, Rawhide revealed him as the Western star he would go on to be. The miniseries Godless comes from a long line of Western TV miniseries. Directed by Scott Frank, who directed the similarly Western-minded superhero movie Logan the same year, Godless was a critical success with 12 Emmy nominations and 3 wins for its 7 episodes. Set in 1884 in a small town in New Mexico, Godless follows Roy Good, Jack O'Connell, an outlaw on the run from his mentor Frank Griffin, Jeff Daniels. Fed up with Frank's wicked ways, Roy stumbles into LaBelle, a town almost entirely populated by women. Michelle Dockery, Scoot McNairy, Merritt Wever, and Tantu Cardinal also star. Beautifully shot with violence that feels raw, but never exploitative, Godless is a wonderfully excessive and impressive series with a sharply written story. The mostly female cast offers something fresh and unique in a genre dominated by male-centric casts. Though he had a career previously, including in the excellent Western TV show Deadwood, spoiler for this list, Timothy Olyphant was really introduced to audiences as Raylan Givens in Justified, the neo-Western crime drama that ran for 6 seasons on FX. The series, which also served as an early role for Walton Goggins as local criminal Boyd Crowder, is set in Harlan County in eastern Kentucky. Deputy U.S. Marshal Raylan is a man out of time, with an Old West ethos trying to stop crime in a modern, evolving world. Justified fits the neo-Western genre, as well as any movie or TV show, marrying elements of Westerns and gritty cop dramas into an intriguing and strikingly well-acted series. Though Justified begins as more of a procedural, it slowly develops into a longer, intriguing story about the effects of Raylan's unconventional style of policing on himself and the region. The series was nominated for 8 Emmys and remains a standout example of how to do Westerns in the modern era. Bonanza first premiered on NBC in 1959 and introduced viewers to the wealthy Cartwright family who lived near Virginia City, Nevada, in the 1860s. Led by father Ben Cartwright, Lorne Greene, the Cartwright family lives on a huge ranch called Ponderosa near Lake Tahoe, where they get into all sorts of sitcom-worthy predicaments over the 14 seasons of the show. Pernell Robert, Dan Blocker, and Michael Landon also star as Ben's 3 sons. Unlike other westerns of the time, Bonanza was a period drama that confronted contemporary social issues. Comedies and anthology series were doing it at the time, but few week-to-week drama series took this tack. Racism, bigotry, substance abuse, environmentalism, and more were all tackled on the show with a surprising amount of heart and empathy. It's a long series that bounces from jokes to serious moments with ease. The longest-running Western TV show is also one of the genre's best. Gunsmoke premiered in 1955 and ran for 20 total seasons, and that was after it premiered as a radio serial for 9 seasons. The TV show stars James Arness as U.S. Marshal Matt Dillon, an officer of the law working in Dodge City, Kansas in the years following the end of the American Civil War. Dillon handles criminal problems in town and outside of it, with his range extending into the surrounding plains and deserts. While Dillon's deputies are somewhat inept and provide comic relief, Dillon himself is a talented marshal who handles everything from dangerous violent crimes to arguments between friends, acting as a peacemaker. As one of the first TV westerns written specifically for adults, Gunsmoke ushered in the era of westerns on TV and sat right in the middle of the Western Golden Age. Tropes and themes found in modern Western TV shows can often be traced to this show. Deadwood was a part of the HBO boom of TV shows in the early 2000s, alongside the likes of The Sopranos, The Wire, and Rome, that showed movies were no longer the sole domain of serious storytelling and incredible visuals. Deadwood is set in Deadwood, South Dakota, in the 1870s, just when the area was being annexed. The 3-season series depicts the growth of Deadwood from a backwater camp to a sprawling town, with all the crime, political scheming, and problems that come with that. Despite coming long after the golden age of westerns, Deadwood feels like the culmination of Western storytelling. Characters like Al Swearingen, Ian McShane, and Seth Bullock, Timothy Oliphant, are plucked right out of history and played so honestly in a setting so real that it's easy to fall right into the world and never want to leave. Smartly written, philosophical about the real American West, and expertly crafted, Deadwood is a must-watch for any history or Western TV show fan. Let's face it, Taylor Sheridan's Yellowstone has become the flagship of modern Western television. Gritty, dramatic, and loaded with cowboy swagger, it has redefined the genre for a new generation. But the Wild West existed on TV long before the Duttons took up residence in Montana, and plenty of shows ride tall in the saddle without ever crossing paths with the Yellowstone Ranch. If you're craving dusty trails, moral gray areas, shootouts at high noon, and tales of frontier justice, but want something beyond the Yellowstone universe, here are 6 Western TV shows that deserve a spot on your watch list. 1. Deadwood, HBO, 2004 to 2006. Welcome to Deadwood, South Dakota, a lawless mining town crawling with outlaws, drunks, swindlers, and politicians, often all wrapped into one character. Created by David Milch, Deadwood is not your daddy's Western. It's raw, poetic, profane, and mesmerizing. The show explores the formation of civilization on the frontier, as real historical figures like Wild Bill Hickok, Calamity Jane, and Al Swearingen carve out power and meaning in the muddy, violent chaos of the 1870s. Ian McShane's performance as Swearingen is a masterclass in villainy with soul. What makes Deadwood essential isn't just its stunning writing or visceral authenticity. It's the way it peels back the romanticism of the West and reveals the blood, grime, and desperation underneath. If Yellowstone gives you modern cowboys in a moral gray zone, Deadwood shows you the chaos that built the mythos in the first place. 2. Longmire, A&E/Netflix, 2012 to 2017. Picture this: a stoic sheriff in modern-day Wyoming solving crimes in a rural county full of secrets, with the looming presence of Native American culture, land disputes, and old ghosts that never quite die. Longmire is a contemporary Western crime drama that mixes noir mystery with cowboy heart. Based on Craig Johnson's Walt Longmire Mysteries, the show stars Robert Taylor as the title character, a grizzled lawman navigating grief, politics, and crime, all while upholding justice in the face of modern complexities. It's got a slower, thoughtful pace, but when the action kicks in, it punches hard. Longmire isn't flashy, but it's layered. It explores how the West hasn't really disappeared, it's just changed shape. If you like your Westerns with a shot of procedural storytelling and a big dose of emotional realism, this one will keep you riding until sundown.